With the upcoming release of the Resident Evil crossover and Dead by Daylight, you may have been tempted to pick up the game for the very first time. But as you start playing, you realize it's a little more complicated than you originally thought. For example, as you play Jill or Leon, you get stomped by the killer. Or if you play Nemesis, you get bullied by experienced survivors who just run circles around you. So in this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know to have the best Dead by Daylight experience. I'm Faye, and this is my DVD Beginner's Guide. If you didn't already know, DBD is an asymmetrical horror game where one player takes the role of a terrifying killer and 4 other players take the role of survivors. The survivor's goal is to escape the trial without being caught and killed, and the killer's goal is to sacrifice as many survivors as possible to a kind of dark god called the Entity. The Entity is an ancient being, evil in its purest form, a malevolent being who travels through time and space collecting its victims, both survivors and killers, forcing them to live in a never-ending cycle of trials, feeding off the survivor's fear and the killer's ruthlessness. The Entity occasionally manifests itself in a physical form throughout the trial given proper circumstances. Most commonly taking the form of spikes or spider legs, it has been known to block the exit gates and windows. Before a match, you can click on the eye over on the right side to open the archives. Here you can choose special challenges to complete during your trials. You can also unlock special items in the Rift. The Compendium houses all the tomes of the game to unlock special lore. You can choose to start at the very beginning or complete the current tome. For those interested in lore, I recommend going to the Store tab, clicking on a character, survivor, or killer, and viewing their personal stories. Now I would like to explain all the basic mechanics that players should not ignore when playing this game, starting with the fundamental objectives. There are 7 generators scattered throughout the map. You along with your teammates have to repair 5 of them to power up the exit gates. Then you can open one or both of the exit gates to escape. The catch is that while repairing generators, you will be given random skill checks. If you miss one, the generator will blow up, alerting the killer to your location. Luckily, survivors are not completely defenseless. Every survivor can crouch behind trees, in tall grass, or hide in lockers. You can also unlock special perks that provide a variety of skills. To learn which perks you should unlock first, stay tuned. The terror radius is a feature used to alert the survivor to how close the killer is to their location. They experience the sound of their own heartbeat, which gets louder and faster the closer the killer is. All killers except for Trickster, Victor, Deathslinger, Spirit, Huntress, and Hag have a terror radius of 32 meters. Everyone else ranges from 12 to 45 meters. Naturally, you may want to play Jill or Leon immediately. However, they might not be the best survivor for you to start leveling up. If you intend to play DBD for any length of time, I recommend leveling up a few other survivors to unlock their teachable perks, which are unlocked after your character progresses to level 30, 35, and 40. Then you can choose and funnel points into your preferred survivor, such as Jill or Leon. The first survivor I recommend leveling up would be Meg Thomas. Her 3 teachable perks are Quick and Quiet, which allows you to make less noise while vaulting and hiding in lockers, Sprint Burst, which allows 150% running speed boost for 3 seconds. Be careful when you choose to use this perk. Adrenaline allows you to instantly heal 1 health state and activate Sprint Burst for 5 seconds once the exit gates are powered. In my opinion, I think this is quite a helpful perk for new survivors. The second survivor I recommend leveling up would be Laurie Strode from the Halloween chapter. Her teachable perks are Sole Survivor. Your aura can't be read by the killer within a certain range. Object of Obsession. Provides an interesting challenge of having you and the killer's auras visible to each other. Decisive Strike. Can be used with a skill check while in the killer's grasp to run away. Last but certainly not least, the third survivor I feel you should level up would be William Bill Overbeck. His teachable perks are Left Behind, unlocks the ability to see the aura of the hatch within a certain range as the last survivor in the game. Borrowed Time, enables players rescued from hooks to be protected by endurance. And Unbreakable, which allows you to fully recover from the dying state. If this sounds like it will take a long time, then you are correct. However, as you earn a currency called Iridescent Shards, you might be able to purchase the perks you desire from the Shine of Secrets. The perks you can purchase are rotated weekly. The hatch is an exit that spawns randomly in a match. It will remain invisible until certain conditions are met. It opens when there is only one survivor left. It is the best choice if you are the last survivor standing as opposed to wasting time trying to open the exit gates, or finish generators, which can be extremely difficult by yourself. When the hatch opens, you will hear a wind tunnel / ringing sound to help you locate it. During the match, you collect blood points. Your goal is to max out each of the 4 categories: Objectives, Survival, Altruism, and Boldness to increase your rank. At the end of the match, you see your score and a bar that fills up with your points. The first point on the bar is black. If you reach this, your rank will not decrease. Anything below can cause a decrease in rank. You can earn up to 2 pips in a match. The goal is to collect enough pips to earn a rank to level up. Rank 20 is the lowest, rank 1 the highest. A season lasts 1 month. The season resets on the 13th of each month, which will reset your rank based on the rank you achieved in the previous season. There are 2 types of totems you will find in a match. First is the Hex Totem. Second is a Dull Totem. You can tell it's a Hex Totem because there's a lit candle under it. And if you come across a lit totem, it means the killer is using a Hex perk. When you approach the totem, you will get a prompt to cleanse it. Cleansing does not require any skill checks. If you cleanse a Hex Totem, there is a good chance you just cancelled the killer's Hex perk. All Hex perks need a totem to survive. But beware of a perk called Hex Undying. If you cleanse a Hex with Hex Undying, it can hop over to a random dull totem and reactivate, so you might have to cleanse multiple times. It's a good idea to cleanse every dull totem you find to prevent Hex Undying and NOED from taking over. NOED stands for No One Escapes Death. It is a Hex perk that only activates once the exit gates are powered up. At Tier 3, it allows killers to one-shot survivors for 120 seconds. Because of this, I recommend stopping everything you're doing and go run through the map to find it and cleanse it before opening the gates. Please don't be in a hurry to open the gates unless you know all the other survivors are safe. If the killer has NOED, it might screw them over. There are a handful of items you can obtain through the Blood Web to assist you in a match. I will go into more detail of every item and add-on in a later video. For now, here's the basic survivor items. Flashlight, used to blind and stun the killer when directed properly. Medkit, used to heal self or other teammates. Toolbox, used to increase generator repair speed or sabotage hooks. Keys, used to unlock the hatch or special chests. Maps, used to track generators, totems, and the hatch with the correct add-on. All items can have 2 add-ons to increase its power or speed. First things first, it's important when playing killer that you lower your expectations. Don't expect to get a 4K every match. You probably won't. You're going up against survivors who have learned to outplay every killer. There are no hacks when it comes to playing killer. The only thing you will have to rely on is patience and experience. Although it may be tempting to hop onto Nemesis right off the bat, you will find that it is better to spend your time and points on other killers to unlock their teachable perks to better enjoy Nemesis. To begin, I recommend that you try out every killer and their individual perks, just to get a better feel for how killers and perks work. Once you're ready to buckle down and focus on just a few to get their most important teachable perk, here's who I recommend. The Cannibal, or Bubba. His teachable perk unlocked at level 35 is called Barbecue and Chili. This perk allows you to see the auras of every survivor while hooking another. The only exception here is if a survivor is in close range, you won't be able to see their aura. Hag. Her teachable perk is Hex Ruin. This Hex perk makes the game go slower by slowing down generator progress and also regressing the generators when not being actively worked on. The Legion. The teachable perks from the Legion is called Discordance. This perk allows you to see when more than one person is working on the same generator. The Clown. His teachable perk is called Pop Goes the Weasel. This perk allows you to make a generator immediately lose 25% progression after hooking a survivor. Hillbilly. His teachable perk is called Tinkerer. Whenever a generator is repaired to 70%, it'll trigger a loud noise and you are granted the undetectable status effect from 12 to 16 seconds. The Plague. Her teachable perk is called Corrupt Intervention. This perk calls on the entity to block the 3 furthest generators for 80 seconds at the beginning of the trial, forcing survivors to come closer to you to repair generators. All killers have a red zone in front of them. This is called the red stain, and survivors rely on it to tell them which way you are facing. Try moonwalking around a corner, or walking backwards, or up the stairs to hide your red zone and have a better chance at surprising a survivor. Survivors will most likely spawn on the other side of the map away from you, so don't waste your time searching for any survivors at generators near where you spawned. You won't find any. Head across the map to find your survivors. While patrolling all the generators once the match begins, identify 3 that are near each other. Spend your time in the game patrolling these 3 generators. Of course, if a survivor is somewhat near, you can go chase them, but always return to your patrol. This helps create pressure for the survivors as they will need 2 of them to power up the gates. Keep in mind that survivors are going to try to get you to leave your patrol so other teammates can repair the generators. If it's an easy chase, go for it. If not, keep to your patrol. Good survivors are going to try to distract you and loop you for as long as possible so their other teammates can repair the generators. This is part of the game, but be wise in choosing which survivor or loop to commit to. A useful tip for chasing survivors is that if the chase is lasting more than 15 seconds, it's best to go find someone else or return to your patrol. Survivors naturally are going to go out of their way to heal their teammates, most of the time. You want to take advantage of this. The more they heal themselves and each other, the more points you will get as a killer because you get a point every time you hit someone. If they heal, you get to hit them 2 more times. When you do hit someone and they're on the ground, don't immediately hook them. Maybe even go chase someone else and then come back to hook them. Importantly, don't camp the hooks. Don't be that kind of human. You will get more points if you don't camp, and points is what it's all about. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you like this kind of content and want to see more, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you have a blast playing the Resident Evil chapter in Dead by Daylight. See ya!